EOM Business Network. So much for one broadcast.
Hello everyone, it's another beautiful day and thank you very much for joining us. You're watching the EOM Business Network, indeed the voice of corporate Nigeria. I am Olorogo Elkanah Mawari. Today on the program, we shall be taking a look at the Nigerian economy from the viewpoint of industry operators. Also the lineup is Let's Talk, and our focus is on our Bar Limited and Focus Group Limited. On Spot On, we shall bring you a highly experienced ICT expert, astute business manager and industry captain, Tolui Rotimi, who is the founder, managing director and chief executive officer of Atosh Technology Limited, a notable ICT and telecommunication support service provider in Nigeria. And on the face-to-face is an audacious, certified financial service management expert, vision-driven entrepreneur and industry captain, Babatunde Obadero, who is the co-founder and chief executive officer of Zitra Investments Limited, one of the fastest growing financial support and investment solutions providers in Nigeria, and indeed one of the most distinguished CEOs to look up to in 2024. It's a package you'll love to watch. Sit back as we bring you the details.
Pleased to welcome you all to this press conference as we prepare for the NBCC Presidential Inaugural Dinner of the 18th President of the Chamber, Mr. Ray Ateli.
We were established in 1977, that means we're 46 years old, and all we're established to do is to promote trade and investments between Nigeria and Britain. This chamber is affiliated to the BCC, which is the British Chamber of Commerce itself, and that gives us access to a network of over 53 chambers across the UK and 71 other international affiliates from all sectors of the economy. We have over 400 members, made up of organizations that are across different sectors of the economy, and we continue to pursue opportunities to add value to our members.
We have a very comprehensive understanding of what we are planning to do. We are looking forward to a very, very good and successful evening. Like Mr. Ahmed said, the outing is going to represent a lot about our relationship between Nigeria and Britain in terms of commerce, trade, and of course develop a very, very strong base for partnership and networking.
We're here to sensitize the public about the forthcoming presidential inauguration dinner, which was on Friday, November 24, 2023, at the Hilton and Suites. The dinner is held every 2 years because at the chamber we have a 2-year tenure of our president and chairman of council, meaning that this year we have the presidential inauguration dinner. Next year you will have the presidential awards. Then in 2025 we'll have another presidential inauguration dinner. A 18th president is going to be inaugurated on Friday, November 24, Mr. Ray Ateli, FRP. And that evening is an evening of fun, evening of collaboration, evening of networking. We're inviting policy makers to come and speak to us, especially the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, to give a sneak preview of what the investment and industry climate for the country might be, especially considering that there's a new government that just came into force nearly a few months ago. We also have Mr. Tony Mbelu, the chairman of US Holdings, who's our guest speaker. Without saying so much, Mr. Mbelu is well known as a champion of entrepreneurship, not just in Nigeria, but on the African continent, and if I might say, actually at the global level, because it's common of the subsidiaries of his holdings. The UK actually has an American subsidiary.
Tunji Andrews, a stylish, purpose-driven entrepreneur and industry captain, is the co-founder and chief executive officer of Our Bar Nigeria Limited.
It's a short story. In 2009, I sat through a lecture on financial inclusion, I mean, it was the most amazing lecture. It was so beautiful because I was hearing how if we all put our pool of funds into this financial ecosystem, it would allow people be able to lend, and then it would create greater prosperity. And I was so excited about this. I dedicated most of the next decade of my life, pushing financial inclusion and just spreading the gospel of financial inclusion, because I was so excited about this thing, because I felt it was going to be the thing to save Africa. But I realized, right halfway through the decade, that we were pushing account opening and not really financial inclusion. I mean, it does sound like it is the same thing, but maybe I saw it from a different perspective. I saw it as value proposition. So why does a poor person, quote unquote, want to open a bank account? It's not just to be saying that I have a bank account. It's for the bank account to actually be useful to his or her life, to be able to help the person improve on what they're doing. And it started to bother me because, it's felt like somebody who had held this religion for so long, and then you kind of realize that this is not actually the Messiah. The Messiah is still to come. And I started to explain to financial service providers that there's something deeper than just opening accounts. We needed to create resilience for people in the low income classes of the country. And after a point of unsuccessfully explaining to people I knew, they say that sometimes when nobody else understands the problem, maybe you are the one to bring the solution. And that was what birthed our bar. It was out of a fact that I felt there was a need in the market that nobody was feeling in the way that I felt it should be filled. I realized that it was actually very useful. And our customers' reactions to our products shows that we were right from day one. And I mean, we just continue to be proven right. I would narrow it down to make it simpler. We have a goal to be the model financial institution for gig workers by the end of this decade. And I don't say that lightly. I believe that financial service provision to casual workers, to seasonal workers, to gig workers is inadequate. I believe that it is not being done properly. So think about it this way. Somebody who's a content creator, and let me just go from that perspective, the low level. Somebody who is a content creator, if the person goes to the bank and says, "Hi, I have 2 million views on YouTube, give me a loan," he will probably be laughed at, because we have not created a structure to validate casual work in such a way that it is bankable.
My job is to make your money work for you, because if you are broke in old age, not my business. I have to take this. It's time to save the day. Hi, I'm Lolo, your 24/7 virtual buddy. Meet Sammy, who has been trying for almost 30 minutes to register and open a micro pensions account. But with me, he will get it done in less than 10 minutes. Check this out. Told you. Say hi to Tinu, the girl with Sabi. As a makeup artist, she dey make pension contribution every month. Relax, no need to stress. Lolo is here now. Meet Mike, a photographer who needs to buy health insurance for himself. As usual, I'm here to make the process a lot faster and easier. Skip the long process and get instant support with Lolo on the go. Just save the number 234-700-029-2224 and say hi to get started.
Simon Agi, an experienced business project manager, certified ICT expert and team player, is the Chief Operating Officer of Focus Group Limited, one of the fastest growing ISO certified integrated ICT conglomerate in Nigeria.
I'm in charge of the support system, that is operations, which include HR, finance, project delivery, and admin, basically. What I try to do is to have competent heads in each of those units. So the real challenge we have, and I don't think it's only focused on as a country, quality of people is a major challenge, and most people in Nigeria these days don't stay. You hire them no matter what you offer. They're either going to another job, but mostly people are running out of the country. A day like today I come, I normally meet with my team. That is, I have a head of HR, have a head of finance, have a head of delivery, and of course under the HR you have admin. So it's to ensure that our facilities are working, ensure that everything is working, because we are a support system. We run projects, and we are the one that make arrangement for people to execute the projects successfully to the end. We support them. If we need to transport people, we need to make hotel arrangement, we do. If we need to hire people from outside, we do that too. We provide solution. One of our major solutions we are providing right now, we have a World Bank project where we're providing internet to about between 20 and 30 universities in Nigeria, cutting across all parts. So about 3 weeks ago, they came for audit, and we had to travel with them nationwide, more or less. And it made me very proud, because at least I went with them to about 10 universities. Some other person went with about 10, 15. Not one.
Tolui Rotimi, a highly experienced ICT expert, astute business manager, and industry captain, is the founder, managing director, and chief executive officer of Atosh Technology Limited, a notable ICT and telecommunications support service provider in Nigeria.
Atosh started as Tojagosi Ventures 35 years ago. The company was actually registered as Tojagosi Ventures in 1990. Just finished my JAMB and I went to trade fair then at the trade fair complex. And while I was there, I saw people lining up. So I said, what were they doing? They said they were registering companies. And I had some money with me then, I think 200 or 400, I can't remember. So I registered the company and registered for my sister as well. And so I didn't do anything with it until I got into my 200 level. And in my 200 level, I had a friend whose father needed a computer. It was a research company. And so they approached me and I got them a computer from the finance house that I just packed up. And so he asked for a second computer and I delivered a second computer. Then he asked me if I could maintain it and I said yes. So my 200 level, I was maintaining his system. I employed a graduate who was doing that for me while I was in school, and I was paying him his salary. And so by the time I finished, I actually looked for a job, not really that seriously, but I said, okay, let me even see if I could get maybe work for a year or so, because I promised myself I was not going to ask my dad for anything anymore. And so I got a job and they offered me 12,000 naira. I mean, it started with 7,500. And I thought to myself that I would go all the way from the island. That was a lot of money then, but I didn't want to. I was looking at inconveniences. And so I went back to him and said it was too small. And so he offered me 12,500. And I said, okay, let me think about it. And then the next week he called me to fix his computer. And I fixed it, I gave him a bill of 25,000 naira and he paid. So I thought to myself, if I was working for him, it would have been for free. So the next week he called me for another computer, one of his colleagues, and I fixed it. 25,000 I paid, 50,000 in 2 weeks. So I thought to myself, I was not going to work for anybody again. So I looked at the inconveniences of waking up and having to go all the way to the island because I live on the mainland. And I decided I wasn't going to do that anymore. And so I tried to focus on the business. And so we started with assembly, computer assemblage. We were assembling computers, IBM compatibles for people, until we eventually moved into networking. And of course, we've done so many other things after that. The main focus was that we thought to ourselves that businesses were finding it difficult to get into the technology space because at that time, computer was very expensive. So we felt it was time for us to make business transactions seamless in such a way that they spend less and achieve more, and then make them realize the advantage of having a computer, what it can do compared to when they don't have. And so over time, we've been able to make them realize that they can actually spend less, make more money with technology. And so that was the focus initially. And that's why our vision is to be an international company of repute. And our mission, one of our missions is that we want to help people to spend less and make more using technology. And also to help us, our colleagues, my colleagues, because I call them my colleagues, not really staff, because some of them have been with us for over 20 years. And so we've been able to ensure that they grow with the business. They grow with the business and they identify niche where we can actually get into, and we've been very lucky with a lot of them. Because in Nigeria, human capital is very rare, getting very good. And
Babatunde Obadero, an audacious, certified business management expert, vision-driven entrepreneur, and industry captain, is the co-founder and chief executive officer of Zitra Investments Limited, one of the fastest-growing financial support and investment solutions providers in Nigeria, and indeed one of the 100 most distinguished CEOs to look up to in 2024.
So Zitra came from my shared experiences with my two other co-founders. But all three of us have been in the financial service sector for quite a while. And we had felt that there were gaps here and there we didn't think the industry was meeting. For small businesses in Nigeria, it's quite a challenge to access financial services, especially from a borrowing business point of view. And we could see what the issues were. Typical example is to access finance using collateral as your basis, and the reasons are obvious. A lot of these small businesses do not have what we traditionally call collateral, and we saw that, look, in order to empower this or unlock the entrepreneurial spirit in this particular customer base, there was a need to rethink how we lend to them, and we saw that the best approach was for us to build our own platform and create our own enterprise that can meet and fulfill this market need, and basically that's how Zitra was born. So we started 3 years ago in 2020, and when we started, our first license was an asset management license. We got an SEC license, and that's how Zitra Fund Managers was born. Lately, we have also gotten our approval in principle from the central bank to start Zitra Microfinance Bank. These two entities are coming to the marketplace at this time in order to be able to expand our reach for customers across your financial service industry space, whether from an investment point of view or a banking as a service, a retail banking point of view. So that's where we're placed today. And in 2 months, we're launching our digital bank. It will be the Zitra mobile app coupled with our USSD platform as a service, as a provider of banking service. And then we can expand the horizon and reach a lot more customers as well with the POS banking product as well. So we're really looking forward to 2024. We think it will enable us to be more relevant in our customers' lives and find ways of meeting their needs, their financial needs, a lot more than we do today, especially with the backing of the regulatory licenses that we have now been able to get. So Zitra is positioned to meet the financial service needs of Nigerians across the broad spectrum and meet those needs at the way they would like them to be met. Basically, we want to come to where the customers are to meet their needs, whether they are digital, whether they are offline. And so it's about broad spectrum of Nigerians, regardless of their class, regardless of their level of education, regardless of their exposure, regardless of their income bracket, regardless of their earning capacity. And so we think that it's about democratization of financial services across board. And that's why we're here. That's what we are set up to do. And we believe that's our destiny. I think it's a good time to say, take stock and say what we've done. In those 3 years, we've done about 6.5 billion naira in loans, but we're positioned to start to double those numbers from 2024. We've raised in excess of 4.2 billion in funding. Our balance sheet size is only a little less than that figure today. So we're positioned to expand in 2024 as we have more platforms based on our digital access, and then have more clients based on the fact that we would have more presence, and then have more things to offer in terms of offering based on the fact that we have secured our SEC fund manager's license as well as our banking license, which allows us to give a broader mix of products for our customers. So I can't have a better time than this, really, in the business. So as Zitra today, you can walk up to us and take a loan to kickstart your small business. You can walk up to us and take a loan to expand your business. You can have a salary advance if you're a salary earner. You can have an overdraft to ensure that your working capital requirements as a business is met. You can also come to us and have a fund placement on the investment side. You can come to us and invest in treasury bills. You can come to us and buy government bonds or private bonds. You can come to us and access the stock market. So depending on what exactly your needs are, Zitra is positioned to fulfill them across a wide variety of bonds. You can have your target savings. You want to buy that particular your wedding is a year from now. You can save up for your wedding a year from now by having us take a particular portion of your income every month or every week or every day until the time that your event is ready. So we're positioned, like I said, to basically, so we think that banking is important, but banks are not necessary. I can have banking services provided by anyone that creates a platform for me to provide that. And that's how we see it, because we also understand that the needs and the behavior of our consumers are fast changing. And so we're positioned to meet them exactly where they are. The numbers tell us that the market have responded well to us. 20,000 plus customers who have, some have, there are people who have taken loans from us between 2020 and now at least 5 or 6 times, who have come repeatedly again. we are in a position to even do a lot more than that. The restraints are already being dealt with because of our regulatory the regulatory issues that we have now resolved. So we anticipate that we are positioned for scale at this point, and we're ready for it as well. We're strengthening our internal capacity in terms of back office operations, in terms of risk management. We're digitizing some of the things that we do back office so that we can handle a lot more customer service and the likes. So Zitra is ready to onboard customers from the length and breadth of Nigeria across all our platforms. I said earlier that for us, it's about democratizing financial services. And so whether you are the student who is unbanked or barely banked, but you need to have a place where you save your little stipend, whether you are a market woman who's barely literate but needs access to financial services so that you can ensure that you have enough money to fund your business so you can put food on the table for your kids. Whether you are the person who works, the typical blue-collar worker who has a fixed income every month, but sometimes from one month to another, there might be difficulty in meeting some obligations. Maybe it's school fees season or it's house rent season. And those, so it's what I'm saying. Our customer base has to be a broad coalition of customers across different economic lines, literacy lines, age or demographic indices. So we're not limiting our customer base in any way. We're not a niche product in terms of what type of customer we want. We're open for everyone across different spectra, across different geographical locations of Nigeria.
Vision and mission of Capital Group.
Not only that you're saving money, and this is where we bring down the curtains on today's package of the EOM Business Network. Thank you very much for spending your valued time with us. We hope it was worth your while. But just in case you missed out on any aspect of it, then you can come with us to any of our feedback portals, as you can see on the screen. Our deep gratitude to you, our sponsors, for your continued interest and support. Always remember, with you and us, we are champs. Oh yes, I remain Olorogo Elkanah Mowari. Please, let's do this again, same time, same channel next week. We'll see you then.